Hey guys, so I just wanted to do a quick updatey kind of thing because I realised I haven't actually updated on what's going on in a fair few months. I kind of dropped things in here and there, but I've not sat down and said this is what's happening. So big things, essentially, I'm still living where I'm living. I have in the last couple of days found somewhere new to live and we'll be moving there in November, which I'm very excited for because it's closer to my family, my friends, my job, everything. It's closer to everything. I have a new job. I quit my job in retail and I'm now working in the kind of health and social care area as a support worker in the community, which I'm very excited about. What else? I'm not going to college in September because I am doing the qualification on the job rather than in college. My DBT is going really well. The group is expanding very quickly and increasingly, and I'm kind of enjoying it because I like kind of being with new people and hearing other people's opinions. I like that. So that's fun and conversations flowing better in it. Still getting on House on Fire with individual therapists, psychologists, whatever you want to call her. Yeah, getting into some deep dark shit. Still trying to avoid trauma work with all my might. I actually told her the other day about YouTube. I didn't say much about it, but I just told her that this existed and didn't tell her what the name was or anything. And she's given me a very strong impression that she will be doing some digging. So if you're watching, please don't watch this. I mean, you know everything already, but you actually crack on. I feel the fear and do it anyways, man. So essentially the main thing I wanted to tell you about today was something that I want to say something that happened very recently, but it didn't. It happened a year ago. I didn't find out about it until very recently. And I can't, normally when I tell you those things, I'm like, and this is how I dealt with it, and this is what happened. And I kind of briefly tell you what actually happened, and then more so tell you how it affected me. I can't do that because I'm still kind of figuring out what the hell I'm gonna do, and figuring out how the hell I'm gonna bounce back from this, and figuring out how I even I'm supposed to think or feel about this, because to be honest, it's just so fucking ridiculous and fucked up, and nobody seems to be taking it seriously. That it's am I overreacting? Am I underreacting? Am I reacting the perfect amount? I just don't know. I fucking cry when car alarms go off for too long, and I'm like, can you just not? So I really don't know at this point. I can't judge my own level of insanity. So I'm gonna tell you what happened, but I know that when I tell you, it's not gonna sound as shit as it actually is, or it might sound worse, but I doubt it. So essentially, last September I got taken out of college after missing a year to be in hospital and then completing a year because college is 2 years, to do my first year. I went back for my second year, already a year behind, and got taken out. I had an agreement with my team that I would gain a certain amount of weight a week, get to a certain BMI, and I could stay in college. The agreement was you can stay at college while you do this. As far as I understood, as far as it's written down, as far as I was told, and as far as I agreed to, that's what the agreement was. They evidently did not agree on that, because I got a phone call about a week and a half, 2 weeks after the meeting from my tutor saying, why were you in college yesterday? And I was like, because I go here. And she just basically said to me, you can't come back. We've had a phone call from your team saying you're not medically stable and fit to be in college, and we have to take their advice. So they were essentially covering their own backs. I'm not angry at them at all. I wasn't pissed off most about being taken out of college because it was all, oh, it's for your best and it's your health and everyone's got to cover their own back. That was all, I could reason that. But I was pissed off at how they did it. They didn't tell me. We'd had this meeting, everything seemed to be fine, and then all of a sudden, they just took it all back. And it's not like they said, oh, you can't, you know, I don't know, you can't finish this jigsaw puzzle. They literally like took my education away, and that set me back a good I'm going to be 22 at least by the time I get to uni now. Like they've set me back a long time, and it's not, you know, every time I've told them about this, they've gone, oh my God, what are they going to do? I'm like, nothing. They're not going to do anything. First of all, because I'm not going to fucking let them. And second of all, because that's completely irreversible. Like, the damage they've done is irreversible, and I'm not going to even let them try and be involved to try and fix it, because they've fucked everything up. So, I don't know what I'm going to do, I don't know what anyone else is going to do. That's the end of that. But I was going through paperwork a few days ago, and I found a report. I keep a lot of things. Since this has happened, I keep every report, like since I got taken out of college, not since I discovered this. I keep every discharge note, every review paper, everything, so that I can prove my points. And so that I know what's going on, because I don't remember things very well. So I have to write them down, or I have to have a record, I have to have someone else there that I can trust will tell me what actually happened and won't twist it. So I found this paper that said, basically it said your weight from June, your weight in September, your BMI in June, your BMI in September. Now these didn't look right. The difference between the weights and the difference between the BMIs did not like correlate. Like they were so fucking far apart, it was just insane. So I worked out the BMIs for the weights on my phone with the weight that with the height that I know I am and the height I know is written down for me. They were not the BMIs that were written down. Spoke to my best friend, spoke to my mum, and then I phoned the unit and was like, not even angrily, because I hadn't put two and two together yet, but I just basically said, can you go through this with me? Can you help me work out these weights and these BMIs, and then either I'm wrong or you're wrong, and we can figure it out from there. Worked out the BMIs were completely fucking off. Like I'm not talking like 0.1, I'm talking like, you know, the BMI on the piece of paper would be X.1 and the BMI actually was like X.7. Like it was a lot. Which doesn't sound that bad, but when you're being threatened to have your whole fucking life ruined over it, it is bad. So I found out that I was taking, basically, the logic was I was taken out of college to, like, because the BMI they wanted me to be at and the BMI I was were so far apart, they were like, you're not going to gain this in enough time and we can't keep you in college for that amount of time. That was their main excuse. Now, I couldn't accept that because I still couldn't accept what they'd done, how they'd done it, blah, blah, blah. But that was just how it came out. And once I put the phone down from the unit and basically said, you need to remeasure me because I'm not having this happen again, they said, okay. And then I put the phone down, and that's when I realised they took me out of college because I was so far off this BMI, which makes sense if I was the BMI that was written down, but I wasn't. And the weight they had wasn't. So essentially someone had used the wrong height to work it out, worked out my BMI wrong, done some bad maths, and I'm now 2-3 years behind where I should be. I'm not going to uni this month because someone did some bad maths, which is shit. And I don't know how. I don't know how to even like describe, because it doesn't sound that bad. It's like, oh, they did some bad maths, but you've got this new job and you've got a new place and blah, blah, blah. No, like, you know, I should have gone to college and finished those 2 years, because I haven't just lost that year they took me out of, I've lost the year before that, because all that work I did essentially means nothing. I lost the year before that. I spent a whole year inpatient, day patient, outpatient, working so hard to getting back to college. That was my only goal. I didn't care if I lived or died, as long as I got back to college. And they just took that. So I'm kind of sat here like trying to explain this, and I cannot explain to people like what they've done is essentially set me back 3 years in my life completely without my fault. Like, that sounds awful, but it's not my fault. Do you know what I mean? Like, I haven't lost a shit ton of weight and they've made a decision. I haven't dropped out of treatment and they've made a decision. I didn't do anything wrong. I did what they asked of me every single time. I went to the appointments, I did the treatment, I gained the weight. And they still did this, and they put me back 2-3 years. I'm not going to college, to uni this year, because they've done this, because they've worked it out wrong. They haven't even lied, as far as I'm aware. They haven't purposefully done something. Someone just fucked up. The home treatment team weighed me, the daycare team worked out my BMI, and the consultant made the decisions. So between 3 people, nobody realised. Not one person double checked. Nobody over a year and a half. Because this, like, I was looking back and it just got worse and worse the more I looked through. Since last April, all the BMIs have been wrong. Nobody thought to check. And then to twist the knife in, when I told my current psychologist about this, she said, oh, but you were only 17 at the time, you know. I was like, no, I wasn't, I was about to turn 19. And she said, well, I assumed you were at 17 at the time because they can't do that if you're under 18 and if you're over 18. So not only did they take me out of college against, like, any fucking logic and information that was true on bad maths, not only did they set me back all this time, not only did they completely fucking destroy my motivation, they did it and they weren't even allowed to. So even if I was that BMI, and even if they had to take me out of college, they couldn't, is what I found out. And I'm fucking fuming about it. Like, I cannot even describe to you. It makes me sad. Like, it makes me so angry, it makes me sad. Because I'm like, I cannot believe that no one questioned, I didn't question this. I can't believe no one double checked. I can't believe this happened. Like, I just can't. I can't believe someone could fuck up that badly at their job. And when I told them about this, I've discharged from the service now because I was done. When I told them about this, their response was, oh my God, that's such a shame. That's a shame, apparently. That's all I have to update you on. So I hope you are all well. Thank you for watching. I don't know what I'm going to do about this, but I'll keep you updated on the situation. And like and subscribe as always, and I will see you all very soon. Alright, thank you. Bye. Because it's something I said.